Nowadays, many women face stress and depression, and the numbers are just getting higher and higher.
Yes.
I hear that many women face it very difficult to balance between work and family, relationship, kids. So what is stress according to Ayurveda?
See, in general, if you want to understand this subject of stress, we can say when we encounter things which we don't want in our life, or when we don't get what we want. So that gives us stress. In a more simple way, we can also say that when there is a normal flow of activities going on in our life and something comes as a blockage, something blocks it, that will induce stress. Some amount of stress is necessary for us, because if there is no stress, then we will not do anything. We will not go to the office, we will not do any job. So some stress is necessary for us to do some work, to do some action. But when this stress goes beyond a particular limit, then it starts to create a lot of problems at physical level, also at the mental level. And especially because we are talking about women, women are more prone to stress and depression because they are more emotional, they are more emotionally connected to things, and any small thing can create a disturbance in their normal flow of things, or normal flow of thoughts maybe, or normal flow of their daily activities. So in Ayurvedic terms, we can also explain this from the philosophy or the theory of balance and imbalance. So when there is a state of balance in the mind, which we will maybe talk more about, the mind energies or the mind gunas, mind qualities, so then there is no stress. And when there is an imbalance, something is more out of balance, then we have stress.
How we can learn to manage stress, and does Ayurveda say about some practices or some exercises that we can release the stress we have in our daily lives?
See, in Ayurveda, whenever we want to control something or treat some disease or treat some condition, it's very important that we understand what is the cause of this problem. Because normally what people do, they try to do some treatment, some therapies, but the cause still remains inside. And then, after some time, you feel again the same problem, Especially when it comes to stress, the stress could be due to something outside, It could be a problem in the relation, it could be a financial problem, it could be a problem with the environment, maybe you don't like the weather, that can also give you stress. There's a lot of people in the Scandinavian area, in the autumn time, summer, in the winter time, they have a lot of depression, a lot of, these kind of problems. So we in Ayurveda first try to find out the cause. So we try to work on a program where a person can try to maybe not contact with that cause or try to avoid that cause, or if that is not possible, for example, if the weather is the case, you can't leave your country, you have to live in the country. So then you manage to protect yourself from that outer situation. This is number one, very important. Then second thing comes is that we try to help the person, educate the person to enhance their mental strength. Because these days people are very weak mentally. They could be physically very strong, but their mind is very weak. So even small things they cannot handle. Emotionally they are very weak. So in Ayurveda, we try to teach them how to become mentally, emotionally more strong, so that you can handle daily situations. Because these days, one of the common things people say, oh, stress is a part of life, so nobody can avoid it. But it's not true. You can, if you know about it, you can definitely avoid it. And then the third level of treatment that we do in Ayurveda, it comes to really taking some herbs. So there are many herbs which also enhance your power to counteract the situations, or how do you face the situations, or maybe in general terms we can say they increase your mental power, or they increase your mental strength. And I would say meditation plays a big role. And breathing is a very important thing, because prana, this energy which we say the life force, This is very, very important energy. So, when the flow of prana is proper in the body and then it make a proper connection with the mind, then this also helps the person to become more strong. So, doing some pranayam, practicing yoga, meditation, aromas are very nice, some nice fragrance, some nice soothing music, anything that will help relax your mind will make your mind strong. This is the basic principle.
Stress is very connected to emotions, and every woman would agree with me that we are very emotional sometimes. And in your opinion, should we learn how to control our emotions, or should we learn how to let go and release our emotions?
Good question, and there's a lot of things going on this subject. A lot of people talk about you should express your emotions, and some people say you should control or suppress your emotions. But I would say that before you even go into that level, you should try to understand what is the cause of that emotion being, becoming very active. What makes you emotional? Majority of the time, these are some samskaras, we call them in Ayurveda. Samskaras are like mental impressions in our subconscious or unconscious mind, which is called chitta. Suppose, early childhood, I didn't have good parenting, my childhood was not full of love, I was neglected. So, all those experiences are stored in my chitta. It's very important, you should try to understand. And when those experiences are stored in the chitta, when we grow up, then in our, in our later part of life, sometimes those experiences, those programs, they become active and they take over our emotional state, and we become very emotional, we become really very depressed, or sometimes very angry, sometimes very violent, aggressive. So, in Ayurveda, when we treat such patients, we try to go into their history, we try to find out where is the root, and we also educate them, or we also do some programs with them, counseling for example, to let them somehow, we can't delete those experiences, but let them somehow calm down those crying babies. We call them crying babies. These are the babies crying, they need attention. So, how to calm them down, this is very important. And of course, in Ayurveda we also say that all negative emotions like anger or greed and all these kind of things, they should be suppressed, they should be not given attention, and positive emotions should be expressed. So, this is how we talk about emotions. It's a very nice subject. Of course, in Jiva we have now created a special program, it's called the Jiva Vedic Psychology, and we are teaching more and more on this subject, and it's very interesting, very deep and very simple and very practical and very effective.
Very often a stressful life leads to depression, and it's very sad to say, but many young women suffer from depression. What could be the root cause of this illness and this sad situation?
So, the root cause of depression, if I would say, is lack of love, lack of purpose in life, lack of knowledge, I would say ignorance. So, many women they are actually kind of suffering with this problem, lack of true love. So, that is why there is depression. Not only women, but there are other people also. So many young people I meet, they have no purpose in life, they do not know what is the meaning of life, what is the purpose of life. Most people, they think purpose of life is just to make some money or become successful materialistically, or when it comes to like male female, getting a boyfriend, or having a husband, or vice versa. This is what they think is the purpose of life. So, when they achieve this, they are still not satisfied, because this is not the real purpose of life. The real purpose of life is to really understand my real identity, my real self, and then try to do some activities that will make me grow on this path of really the real purpose of life, to understand my own nature, my own identity, and give some food to myself. So, that is going to solve the problem permanently. Otherwise, temporarily, when it comes to the mind level only, so mind desires something, you get it, you are happy, then mind desires something, you do not get it, you are depressed. So, this is very important that everybody, in addition to what we are doing in our life, so that is why in Ayurveda they talk about dharma, artha, kama, moksha, all 4 things are very important. You have to follow a disciplined life, you have to have also materialistic things in your life, you have to have also some enjoyment in your life, but you also have to be detached from all this. So, this is very nice knowledge, I would say. Ayurveda is very nice knowledge, very beautiful knowledge. I really enjoy studying it more and more and sharing it with people. So, I would just in brief, if I say this lack of love, especially in the case of women, it is very big cause of depression.